Do you solemnly state that the testimony you're about to give and the cause now pending before this court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please have a seat. Please state and spell both your first and last name.
Robert Coshland, R-O-B-E-R-T, C-O-S-H-L-A-N-D.
All right, go.
Looking at photograph 10B, do you recognize who's depicted on that photograph?
Yes, I do.
And who is that?
That is Amie Harwick.
And what was Amie Harwick to you back in 2020?
Amie was my best friend.
When you say your best friend, how long had you known her?
I met her in 2012 and we became friends in 2015.
And when you say she was your best friend, what does that mean?
I talked to her every day. I pretty much told her everything. We texted every day. And I saw her often, once a week, sometimes as many as 4 times a week.
Was she someone important in your life?
Very much so.
Obviously you know about her death on February 15th, 2020.
Yes.
When was the last time you saw her before that date?
I saw her several days before. I believe it was Tuesday, whatever the date that was. We went to the movies.
Did you have a conversation with her on January 17th, 2020?
I had a conversation with her most days, so.
Around January 17th, 2020, did she discuss an event that had occurred to her the day before?
Yes.
What did she tell you in that regard?
She called me and told me that she had run into Gareth, and she was very concerned about the interaction. She told me that she saw him and he came over to her and was yelling at her and reciting texts from like 8 years ago. And
narrative, and also of course prior ruling regarding leaving the photo up on the Almo during the
Okay, go ahead. Take that down. Sure.
You were saying that she was telling you what happened to her at this event on January 16, 2020, including that Gareth Pursehouse was reciting old text messages to her?
yes, and she told me that he hadn't moved on with his life and seemed to be very obsessed with her still, and that she was very worried about that interaction.
Did she indicate to you whether she was scared of Gareth Pursehouse?
Yes.
What did she tell you in that regard?
She said to me that if anything happens to me, it would be Gareth that did it.
And have you previously testified to that statement?
I have.
And after telling you that, did she try to take some kind of action so you would know where she would be at different points in time?
I suggested perhaps we share locations so I could see where she was at any given time, and she agreed, so we used the Find My Phone feature on iPhones.
And were you then able to track her phone wherever she moved?
Yes, it took a couple hours for us to figure out how it worked, but afterwards, yes.
Well, why did it take a couple hours to figure that out?
Objection foundation.
Oh, you can answer.
I hadn't used it before, and she hadn't used it before, so I don't know why, technically.
Okay. And is this happening on or about January 17th or 2020, or a few days after January 17th, 2020?
We had it sorted out in the afternoon of the 17th.
Did you and her discuss anything else as far as security at her home?
Yes, I suggested she buy a gun, and we talked about video cameras and a security alarm system.
Okay, what did she, as far as the suggestion to get a gun, how did she respond to that?
She said maybe, but
She objected. Okay.
You said what?
she said maybe.
And you also suggested what else to her?
getting a security system and cameras.
And do you know if she did that?
Yes, she did.
How do you know that?
Because we talked about it, and I referred an installer, and she bought the system that I saw.
Okay. Did she buy the Nest camera system?
Correct, that's what I had.
Were you the one that installed the system for her?
No,
Did you set the settings for her Nest camera app for her?
I did not.
When did you hear about the passing of Dr. Amie Harwick?
Objection relevant.
You can answer.
After I had gone to interview with Detectives Masterson and Carranza, they left the room for a bit and they came back and then they informed me. So it was the morning of the 15th, I don't know what time.
Would this be February 15, 2020 at around, well, was your interview with them on February 15, 2020 at the Hollywood station around 10 in the morning?
It was thereabouts.
And so they stepped out of the room and what happened?
Well, after the interview, they stepped out for a few moments and then, or minutes, and then came back and informed me.
What was your reaction to that?
Objection relevant.
Sustained.
Did you tell them during that interview on who to focus on?
Objection
did.
relevant. And hearsay.
Overruled. You can answer.
You can answer that.
I did.
Who did you tell them that they should focus on?
Objection hearsay relevant.
Overruled. But you told this to the police officers?
Yes.
Okay. You can answer.
Yes, I told them that they should focus on Gareth. I did not know his last name at the time.
And why did you tell them that?
Because of the conversations that she and I had had previously.
After Dr. Amie Harwick's passing, did you and your friends get together that day or a day after that?
Yes, that day and the next day.
And what was the purpose of getting together with friends of Amie Harwick?
To basically grieve together. The first day, I talked to a number of people, but we had to keep it from becoming public because her parents had not been informed yet, and we were waiting to hear that that had happened. So I just had people come over my house.
Did anyone say that you and Amy's friends were meeting to make sure how Amy's story would be told?
We talked about it, I think, on the second day.
What was the purpose of that?
Our concern was that she would be portrayed as just Drew Carey's fiancée, as opposed to the kind of super amazing person that she was. And we wanted to make sure that people knew how kind of interesting and cool she was.
On February 16, 2020, was there an interview with Sarah Rollins? Were you present for an interview with Sarah Rollins?
I was.
And why were you present during that interview?
Sarah was concerned about going to the police station by herself. She was at my house at the time when the request came in to interview her, so I went along.
Did you tell her what you should tell the detectives?
No.
Have you told did you ever talk to Michael Herman and tell him what to tell the detectives?
I've never told anyone specifically to tell anyone anything, but I've told people to talk to detectives if they know something.
Now, sometime later, did the detectives give you some journals or diaries from Amie Harwick?
Yes, day planners.
And did you do anything with those day planners?
Yes, I looked through them.
And did you find anything of interest in those day planners?
Yes. Most, if not all of them, had all of her passwords in the back, which I told her never to do. But
So you found some of her passwords.
yeah,
Did you find the password for her Gmail account?
I did.
And did you use that password to do anything?
Yes, I used it to look in her Gmail.
So how did you do that?
I just logged in. I logged into Gmail with her password and username.
So you already knew her Gmail account, her email account.
I mean, that was the email that she and I responded to. She had two, so
And that is that amienicole13@gmail.com?
I looked in that one and also her other one, which was Dr. Amie Harwick.
And did you do this around March 9th, 2020?
Thereabouts.
And around that time, did you go into her Gmail account, amienicole13@gmail.com?
I did.
And did you find anything?
Yes, I found an email that she had written to herself regarding the incident at the expo sports.
And did you read the email?
I did.
And did you later provide it to detectives?
Yes, I did.
Looking here at People's 138. I'm going to read this to you, see if this is an email. Is this what you read on the email? Tonight I feel very, and this is dated January 17, 2020 at 3:09 a.m.
Yes.
Tonight I felt very scared. I went to the award show with Fernando. When we arrived, we waited in a very long line to do the red carpet. We were waiting. I saw Gareth walk by with a camera. Clearly he was working. I decided to ignore him and just not looking that direction. I thought maybe he would not notice me. Fernando went to the bar to get a drink, and I was waiting with his friend in line. Gareth came up behind me and started screaming, "Why are you here? Why are you here?" He looked dysregulated, and his eyes looked out of control. He started screaming, "You don't even like that. You shouldn't be here. Why are you here?" And then he started looking like he was going to cry, and he was breathing heavily and flailing his arms around. I didn't want to make a scene or scare anybody else. So I said, "Hey, do you need to talk?" And we walked over to the side. We sat close by the bathrooms. I made sure to look and make sure there were both security people and a lot of attendees very close by. He was sobbing. His head was in his hands. He was hyperventilating. He was distorting his face up and shaking violently. I was scared and felt like I needed to neutralize the situation. I don't think he was going to attack me in that moment, but this clearly showed me how obsessed he was. He told me that he thinks about me every day, and every day he cries. He told me he lost his job when he broke up because he couldn't work. He told me that no matter what he did, he couldn't stop obsessing over me. He told me that I was a cheater and a liar because he thought we were still together when I believed that we were broken up. He recited text messages that I had sent from this time frame about 9 years ago. He recited the date, who they were to, and exactly what was said word for word. I couldn't believe it. I was very scared. He said he wasn't able to move on, but he's dated, but nobody with me. He said he thinks about me constantly, and he can't watch the TV shows that we watch together. Here are the songs that we like, are the names that we call each other, or even smell vanilla, or he has a panic attacks. I sat with him for about 20 minutes or so. In my mind, I wanted to neutralize the situation. I thought maybe if I could make him see me as a neutral person, that maybe these things would stop. He told me that Kira, sorry.
I'm going to object to 352.
Okay, the court's going to grant it. That is the text that you saw?
That is the email I saw.
Okay, very good.
Well, in the email, well, I would ask for permission to finish reading the email since it's in evidence.
No, but it's already in evidence that she, it's no secret, she wrote purportedly wrote an email to herself.
Throughout the rest of the email, does she indicate that she's scared?
Yes.
And does she indicate that she's scared of Gareth Pursehouse?
Yes, she does.
Does she state that I'm pretty nervous that I'm now more on his radar now?
Yes.
Objection. Same objection.
Oh, you can ask it that way.
does she state that it terrifies me that he's been obsessed with me for 9 years, thinks about me every day and can't move on, cries and throws tantrums in this way.
Yes.
So she described his conduct as tantrums on her email.
Okay, it's 12 o'clock at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and take lunch if you would.